Yeah, it's true.
I mean, if you have enough volume, you don't need large margins to make a profit.
Yeah, it's like Amazon too.
Yeah. And I mean, people need oil. People want to fly in planes.
Yeah.
I think in California, are they getting rid of the 2030 electric car mandate?
If they're not, it's going to be a pretty much a disaster. So I think just by sheer force of reality, it's going to be overturned or not accomplished
Hmm.
because we can't do it. I mean, even petroleum producers are like moving out of here because it's so oppressive to drill, produce oil.
Hmm.
And okay, so that there was this nuclear plant, Diablo, Mount Diablo, down south, and it was supposed to be decommissioned a few years ago, and then Newsom said, "Nope, we can't do that. We're not going to do it." And I think the reason was that they realized that, well, if we do this, we're not going to be able to supply our grid with enough energy. So it'll be something similar to that. Like reality will kick in and be like, "Oh, wait a minute, we can't do that because we won't get reelected again."
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. A lot of people live in California.
Yeah, we need more nuclear plants here. Well, it's getting less. I think people are moving out. Like California's population has been declining.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of
Uh,
people moved
I
out
want,
east.
yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about leaving too. It's been on my mind for a while. I want to bring up. So one of the portions of this thing that we're doing is Captain Hindsight report. It's like a look back on markets and how it's been going. So go back to the beginning of the year. Well, actually, I guess after the election, you had a lot of um, excitement about Trump being elected and businesses and manufacturing, this kind of thing. Then the market just like reached an all-time high around January.
Yeah, heading into the new year.
Tesla did it first. It got because Elon Musk was involved with the administration and getting Trump elected. So the general consensus I think was like, well, Elon is like basically part of the administration, so he's going to get a lot of federal deals and money spent on his projects and that kind of stuff like that. So Tesla did a thing where it went up a lot, and then it went like 400, 450, and then it went back down half or something like that.
Yeah, it went down like back to where it started.
Yeah, that was a big mess. Everybody was talking about, oh my God, it's done. It's crazy. This is get out of Tesla. And then the same thing happened with the general market around Liberation Day, like imposition of announcement of imposition of tariffs, which is not really an imposition, but it was just an announcement. It was a press release about it. And then the market crashed. That like went down, I think 30% from the top, and
And
then
I think the Nasdaq might have the S&P. I think did like about 20 from peak to bottom. So uh, that's
went
called like
everything
a drawdown.
a drawdown.
Yeah.
So there was a drawdown, and then everybody was like, "Oh my God, this is going to be horrible for business. Like the world is global and everything's connected, and everybody buys, and these tariffs are going to kill business and everything." So, but at the same time, like I'm looking at all the announcements that are coming out of the White House, and I see one the other day, which is when Trump went to Saudi and he gave that speech in Saudi, and he's talking about like, hey, we're going to shift our policy from like having you guys fight each other all the time and going to war with each other to building stuff and developing things. And then there was a press release. Um, President Donald J. Trump secures historic $600 billion investment commitment in Saudi Arabia. and I'm reading it. It's like, and all these companies have invested in infrastructure projects in America, over there in the Middle East, and all this different stuff. And then you look at all the other investments too. Like I think it's something like 6 trillion. This was a couple weeks ago, but $6 trillion worth of investment is coming into the United States from all these different countries and companies around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how the stock market is supposed to be a future oriented vehicle. So if I look at what's actually happening and like the stage for what's going on, it's like this market dip right now probably is or was, I guess it's now past, but it was one of the best times to buy in if you could.
Yeah. The best times are when things are chaotic, and the worst times is when everything's going well. That's why we see Berkshire Hathaway has a bunch of cash, and they raised a bunch of cash, and they're just like, we're cool with this cash right now. We just don't buy for the sake of buying. And I believe that's where a lot of people go wrong. I mean, I'm sure when they saw Tesla running up, a lot of people bought at the top, and now they're sitting versus just like, hey, it's probably going to come back down. Like, because I mean, you start getting like all this hot news, and I mean, most of the market day to day is computer and AI generated. So if can you imagine an AI attempting to like comprehend everything Trump attempts to say, and like how he's like all over the place all the time, like all of his tweets, all of his speeches, like it probably confuses it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where we're gonna get some volatility, some bumps, drawdown. But I mean, the writing was on the wall once the election was won. I mean, he said he's going to do tariffs, and he's doing tariffs. So
Yeah.
you needed to be invested in ways to potentially benefit on what the new administration wants to do, regardless of whether you like it or not. If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, dude. There's the myth is sort of that I've heard over the last long time is that the president and his administration, like the government, doesn't have much to do with the market or the performance of the economy, and that's totally false. Much of
I mean, the policies definitely affect.
Totally political.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was listening or reading to something, and basically Berkshire Hathaway sold a lot of their positions because they don't know what the new tax rules are going to be or the tax laws. So they wanted to make some sales on their investments to take advantage of the historically low corporate tax rates.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's just smart. It's like, hey, we don't know if corporate tax rates are going to go up, but we know that right now is a good price to pay, and we know what the price is. So we're going to pay the price now and then see what the policy is and figure it out later when we have all of the information available versus just buying I'm going to buy a call option on earnings day of a company and I'm going to see what happens.
Yeah, interesting.
So, I mean, the more information you know, you can better plan for the future. And I mean, taxes have a lot to do with how much you profit. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't take that into account because your dollar in profit can easily turn into 50-cent profit. Now you just lost half your profit just through paying taxes.
Yeah. But I think the tax rate on corporate earnings are going to go down too.
Yeah, they're talking about it. But I mean, if you don't know who's going to win the election and you have that uncertainty and you know, like, hey, I can lock this in and then I can see what happens. Obviously, Berkshire Hathaway didn't like sell everything, but they did some strategic trimming.
Yeah.
Strategic trimming is part of the game.
Yeah.
Not just buying an index fund and continuing to buy the same index fund over and over. It works over time, but it's the correct answer isn't the same answer every single year.
Yeah. You got to put some thought into it.
Yeah, well, most people don't want to. And then a lot of people are like, I would never pay someone to like help me with things because it's like, why would I pay someone? I'm gonna don't even know there are better returns out there. It's just people don't know how to do them. And sometimes getting a better return just means making less, losing less money. Like when we had that drawdown of 20%, if you only went down 10%, you just gained 10% on the market, which that's a big gain.
Yeah.
So Berkshire Hathaway, I think, was up like 15, 16% year to date.
Yeah, they did pretty well throughout that whole. I mean, even since the beginning of the year.
So
I think
so companies like Uber are up, CVS are up. But we'll see. I mean, looking towards the future, I think insurance companies are going to do well because they always do well typically. I think technology companies, certain ones, are going to do well. And I think some boring companies, such as like just some really boring companies, just always do well just because the world population's growing and there's more things that we have to supply for more people, not just in America, but globally. And that's where a lot of people don't understand is a lot of these, like Topo Chico. I'm drinking Topo Chico right now. I look at Topo Chico and it says copyright 2020, the Coca-Cola company.
Hey.
So I don't know if Coca-Cola owns Topo Chico, but I do know they do the bottling for Topo Chico. And there's a division of Coca-Cola that owns all of the distribution routes for various beverage companies.
Huh.
It's like the mob.
So they're like, yeah, that's right.
They own all the distribution.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean,
It's a boring company, but it's a good company. I had a Coke the other day, and I was like, "Is this insider trading?"
probably. Well, sweet. First episode, I put some thought into it. I'm hopeful for more to come.
Yeah, maybe we'll get into like a flow or figure out how to do it.
Yeah. All right. We'll see everyone next time.
All right. See ya. Bye.